Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to be working again in my December album. Just in case you didn't see the last video, or just as a reminder, this is not a December daily. I don't get on with December daily, just personally, not for me. It's just me throwing in any and all Christmas photos from over the years into this Simple Stories 6x8 album, and I do a mix of like classic scrapbook layouts and then sort of like a smashbooky style, bit of journaling, junk journaling, just all of the things, pocket pages, yeah. So I'm gonna start off. I printed this photo of my cat Conan. I think I took this the year before last, sat next to my Bar Humbug Christmas hat, which, come to think of it, I didn't come across that this year. I hope it's not missing. I don't know where my Bar Humbug hat is. I didn't wear it. Anyway, but he looked so cute and he was like looking up at me next to this hat, and I just thought it was adorable. So I printed off the picture really, really big. I backed it on a paper that has like some various Christmassy sayings and stuff on the other side. So I've put that into a 6x8 pocket, but just sewn up the side close to the picture, which is about say 4 inches wide, maybe a little bit bigger. And then on this other side, all I'm going to do is put this Bar Humbug journaling card. I backed it on some wood grain paper that came from that same collection as the other paper. I've actually stuck that on the outside. I did play around with having it on the inside, but I thought it looked nicer on the outside. I'm going to fill that up with sequins and turn it into a shaker pocket just by stitching with the sewing machine around the edges. I've decided I prefer using my sewing machine for stuff like this. I have a fuse tool, I just prefer the stitching. I like the texture and stuff. And that's all I did for that little page, just like a little insert type thing. For this one, I have this paper, which from a really old Simple Stories collection. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's really sort of nice wood grain, a lot of photorealistic pages and journaling cards and stuff. And I had this gold sparkly tool which I bought a year or so ago and never used, and I thought I'd make a shaker out of that as well. I have a picture here which I'm backing on this random scrap of nice red Christmassy paper. I'm not entirely sure where it's from, but I'm kind of going with that more browny, ever so slightly vintagey vibe for this. So where I backed the photo, I made a little tab at the side, and what I wanted to do was stitch the photo to the tool and then make that into a shaker pocket. But then the way the sewing machine kind of bunched up the tool when I did it around the photo, I'm not really great at sewing and stitching and stuff. So instead I did another layer of tool, turned that into a shaker pocket, as you see, just whacked a load of sequins in and then stitched around the edges, cut off the tool that was originally sewn onto that photo, and then I'm stapling that on there so it goes over the tool, because there's not a whole lot of things that stick to tool very nicely. I am going to go back to that page in a mo, because on this other side I quite liked what was there, like the little thing that says joy, but I was originally going to put my journaling about the photo on the other side on that page, and then I was like, oh no, it's not quite right, because I don't need to write lots about it. So I just grabbed this journaling card. I'm going to cut it in half and just write my tiny bit of journaling, which basically just says the photo is a picture of carols from Kings playing on the TV on Christmas Eve, and our Christmas tree, our main one, we always have two actually, but the main one is always next to the TV, so it's just a nice little picture of the carols from Kings and the tree, and just wrote that it's always a tradition to have that on, and we usually record it as well and then like play it on Christmas Day and stuff. And then I'm just stapling that on there as well. And it also, the way I've stapled them on means all the sequins within the tool shaker kind of go around the picture, like they're not going to get lost underneath it. I'm just using that pocket there to mark where I need to punch the holes to put it in the album, and I think I'm just going to add a couple of little stickers here and there, little titles and tiny word stickers and stuff, not adding too much because obviously with the sequins and stuff it's really busy, but I decided there needs to be something up the side, so I'm just adding tiny little blobs of tacky glue, and I'm going to add a little gold star sequin there. I don't tend to use Nouveau drops or other kind of liquid enamels or anything like that in albums or journals, anything where pages are going to be together, because they tend to stick together unless it's in a page protector or a pocket or something like that. if they're just, you know, open to the elements, they do tend to stick together, or they'll stick to the paper on the other side. So that's why I'm using sequins there and not using my beloved Nuvo drops, in case you were wondering. Here, as I said, that was originally going to, this page was going to be the journaling for what was on the other side, but then I changed my mind, so I just decided to throw something together quickly. I'm using my foam memo printer just to print off a couple of photos, which I think I actually took that day, of my little brother wearing a Santa hat, looking cute. So I'm just going to, yeah, print those off. But because I printed them off on the semi-transparent paper and it's a very, very busy background, it didn't quite look right. So I'm just going to stick them onto just some plain white scrap paper first, and then stick them on like that so you can see the photo properly. There's no weird things going on in the background that sort of prevent you being able to see the photo properly. I'm going to add my journaling to that little card up there, and then I think I'm just going to add a couple of stickers. Oh, I printed off this little funky Santa cartoon which was on the FOMO app. They have like a big library of just random things you can print off, so I thought I'd print off him because why not, and put that on there, and then stamp the date because it was actually this year. I don't know if it's going to be the only photo I'm going to document from this year. I don't know yet, but I think it's the only one so far. And yeah, added my journaling, and then there just needed to be a little something extra, so just adding a few little bits of washi tape. So next up, I'm going to make sort of like a little fold out page. That fa la la page comes with the album itself, so it's ever so slightly bigger than 6x8. And I thought I'd do, well, I was just looking at it, and then I was looking at the back, and I was like, not loving the back of that. So I've taken this paper, which is from this year's vintage collection. What's it called? Simple Vintage North Pole. I have cut that down to the same size as that paper I was showing you a second ago, the one that says fa la la on it. I'm going to score it on one edge at 1 inch, and then put it on the back like that, sticking it down at that scored 1 inch so it flips out. And I was going to leave it like that, but then I was like, actually, I don't like the colour of that and the colour of like that poinsettia paper. They don't go together. So I actually used the remainder of that North Pole paper so it kind of makes a full, not quite 12x12, but you know, just kind of like a bigger page to do a layout on. And then it didn't quite cover to the edge, so I'm just going to add some washi tape to cover up that far right edge. Though it was shortly after sort of sticking that flap down and cutting everything, or the excess off and stuff, that I realised the way I'd made it is that flap would not work because it would go over the rings when it was in the album, and you know, just not work at all. So what I decided to do was to punch some holes and then cut little slits into those holes so that when you put it in the album and you can like open the flap and stuff, it's just going to slip over those holes. You don't have to open the rings every time. I'm not explaining that very well. Hopefully visually you'll see what I mean as I show you here. So it just opens like that. So I'm just going to choose some photos to do these pages with. I'm going to do a photo on this front one here that says fa la la, and then in this sort of larger layout size that I've created for myself. On this front one, because it said fa la la, and I knew I had a title sticker that said Deck the Halls, I thought I'd have a decorating picture. I also found this journal card that says "'Tis the Season," so you know, putting the whole song together, but I don't end up using that. So there's a little picture of my brother decorating our other Christmas tree, because we have one in the dining room and one in the front room. And he doesn't usually get involved in that, so it was quite a moment, so I made sure to take a picture of it. This is last year, I'm going to say. So back to that onto another journal card, and then I'm just going to use some scraps to back that, just so there's some interest and stuff behind it. Distressing all the edges of things with this distressing tool. Pretty much here I decided I wasn't going to use that "'Tis the Season" card, and I thought I was just going to have it a little, I thought having fa la la and Deck the Halls and "'Tis the Season" was just a bit much for the whole page. I did think though I would use some of my own stickers from this year's Christmas collection in my shop, especially as it's called Deck the Halls, and I hadn't used them in my album so far, so I just thought I'd bring in some of those. These are the sticker flakes, so I'm just doing a little cluster of the baubles there that go very well with the tree sort of theme. There's the Deck the Halls word sticker that I mentioned before. I can't remember what collection those stickers are from. Someone might recognise it, I don't know. Was it last year's crepe paper? maybe, I'm not sure. And then just a little tab sticker. Then I'm going to add a few phrase stickers that I can't remember what they say now, and my screen is too tiny to read them, but they will be all as related as you can make them. With the Tim Holtz clipping stickers, you have to kind of be a little bit inventive in how you use them sometimes, but you know, they're vaguely related. A few cool gold splatters, and then that one is done. And then I'm going to work on this larger one, and I'm going to use, because it's the simple vintage North Pole collection for the paper and the washi tape up the side, I'm just going to stick with that collection for this whole piece. That's me looking for my double-sided tape. If you see my arms flap around in a video, it's because I've lost something. It's usually scissors or double-sided tape. And it's usually in the most obvious place as well, like right in front of my nose. But anyway, moving on. So I've backed my photo. I have just chosen a large journaling card to back that as well. And I'm not going to do anything too complicated on here. I've gone around the edges of everything with Distress Oxide in Speckled Egg. Goes really nicely with this collection. And I'm just going to cluster the photo and the journaling card and lots of different elements, ephemera, stickers, etc. Picture is of my mum and dad, and I'm going to have like a lot of stickers that say things about tradition, because up until last year we had a family tradition of going to a close family friends, usually around Christmas Eve or the 23rd, maybe even the 22nd, and yeah, we would go there and other family friends would be there, and we'd have a lovely meal and exchange gifts and things. But the person who hosted that had to move away, and like 200 miles away. So sadly, we don't have that tradition anymore. So, you know, kind of a little bit of a bittersweet layout, really. But I have so many pictures from those gatherings, so I just want to document them all. And it's a really sweet photo of my mum and dad, and I think the colouring of the photo goes quite nicely with the whole colouring of the collection and the layout in general. So yes, just addling, I always do that, adding my journaling. Addling is short for adding my journaling. In that tiny little space there, adding some speckled egg splatters with Distress Oxide spray. And then I thought I was finished, and then I thought actually I'm gonna add a faux stitched border using a Pigma Micron pen. I went around all the edges, and then I also decided it would look cute if I did it on like those little hearts I've put down and around some of the embellishments as well, just to kind of keep the whole theme going. And then once I've done all of that, that is that little layout or page done. After that, I just needed to decorate the other side of that where you have these green stripes, and I didn't really want to add another picture, make another whole layout kind of thing. Just wanted to add pretty things and collage some journaling cards and stickers and stuff. So that was my place to use the 'Tis the Season card. So it is like connected to the Deck the Halls page. I said it again, addling. Why do I keep saying that? Adding little strips of washi, just kind of break up the green on green there. I find that stripy diagonal stripe green a bit much on the old eyeballs, so I'm trying to break it up as much as possible. So I decided to take this red paper, and I'm using a scallop border punch on the edges so I can have that up the top and bottom just to break up that green even more. That paper wasn't as wide as the base paper itself, so what I'm going to do is have them sort of go glued to alternate sides, and then just add an embellishment of sorts to the other side of them, just to again break up that green. So at the bottom I'm going to add this stamp sticker, and at the top I'm going to add these like hanging stockings sticker, I think, and then that's it for that page. So really simple, but just something pretty to look at as you go through, and then just making that sure that fold is you know, scored and everything, so the whole thing works. Popping that in, and then I'm just checking the whole thing works when you can open it up. But I thought actually I'm just going to add like a little tag or a tab, just so you know to open, like there's something to do there, something to open up. So I've just folded over a scrap of paper and I'm stapling it on like so. It just, as I said, it lets you know that there's something in there to look at, otherwise you might miss it. And oh, that's going to be it for this video actually. I did do a little more, but that's going to be it for this video. I'm just going through, looking at all the bits I have made. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Christmas is finished by now, so I hope you had a really good one, or if you don't celebrate, that you just had a nice day off or whatever. This will either be going out on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, so Happy New Year. either way. And yeah, links in the description box as per usual. Let me know. I do have footage for another process, but I don't know if by January people are sick of seeing Christmas stuff. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on that. And yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you again. Yes, okay, goodbye.